Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chef Ivan Chan's MasterClass podcast. And the last one was season 1, but my God, what a 2 months it have been. And I don't think we need any introductions, but we have a new friend of mine that we know for each other, but we've become friends lately. And our three-time Olympian, Ellie Black. And I'm going to bring Ellie in right now. Hi, Ellie.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? Good to have you. Wow, look like we have a lot of people watching already. So
Yes.
it's interesting that how you and me kind of cross paths for what, 7, 8 years now, so many times. And
Yes, so many
turn
times.
around, we finally get you to my restaurant earlier this year.
Oh
And
yeah, like I've been wanting to come for so long and then just be able to actually make the dates work this year. It's been phenomenal. I've been out there multiple times, 3 times this year.
yeah, but anyway, before we go into the actual show, I need to tell everybody, everyone who watched me know, look at the background light now. My daughter specifically come in the basement and want me to change the theme from blue to red. Because they say, hey, it's Ellie Black, it's Team Canada, change the color to red, Dad. She literally grabbed those lights and changed to the color tone that she think it match Ellie. And she is the biggest fan of the show. I'm going to show you people this. Sorry, Ellie, I had to. I'm going to be in trouble. Look at this. She made her own Google buttons for me. Like she was clear coded for a week. And then I turn around, I say, hey, you know what? I want an on-air button. And then she make an on-air button for me. Like a live show on-air button. My God, like she's done so much.
So
Just
talented.
that's all she does. And she have been talking about gymnastic lately, believe me or not. And but now let's switch back to Ellie now. Are you drinking anything, Ellie?
I've just got my H2O, my water.
See, I was gonna do that.
Gotta stay hydrated. It's hot these days.
I know. Like I have a little Chinese tea there. Just kind of wake myself up a little bit. I've been a little crazy, stressed out from all this thing happening and the heat.
Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself, you know?
Oh my God! Like, all right. It's all about Ellie Black's story. I'm not. People already say, "Hey, chef, just shut up. Let Ellie talk." So, Ellie, how did we met?
Yeah, so I think we met back in 2016 at the gold medal plates dinner. I think that was the first time. And yeah, we were just discussing this, but coming over to your station, trying your food. That
I
was,
turned around. I got scared.
no, you can't get scared. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Like getting to meet so many people through these events. And yeah, I got to meet you there and try your food and really get a taste for it and understanding. And then, yeah, just over the years at different events, I think we've been together. But really this year, just being able to actually like get to know each other
Yeah, I
a
think it
bit
was
more and our stories.
Kitchen Dog Catering Christmas party. That's
Yes,
another place that we spent some time together that evening, kind of cheating and eating and
yes.
chatting and stuff like that. But
Yeah, lots of good events with food.
yeah, it's been a great. Oh well, I get our Nova Scotia Explorer. Kaylin O'Neill is watching. Hey,
Yes.
Kaylin was just on the same table with you last week. So,
Great company at the tasting evening.
oh, great people. Like, just lovely, great people. Love those people. So, let's talk about how you get into gymnastic. I mean, have done a little research on your stories about your family that's gymnastic and figure skating. Can you tell everybody why? Like, you choose gymnastic over figure skating?
Yeah, I got into gymnastics because I was a strong, powerful kid jumping around, always like so much energy. So they suggested, a family friend, I think, suggested to my dad to put me in gymnastics. And my parents had never done gymnastics, but they put me in, and I just loved it. And we did figure skating as well, for a long time, but I didn't like the cold. So I didn't like going figure skating because the rink was so cold and the gym was warm and you could go flip and play in the pit. And, I really liked both. They're very artistic sports, so they're very
Hmm.
similar in a lot of aspects. But, sometimes you just have a passion, and I knew it was for gymnastics. I knew after I did it for a few years, that's what I wanted to do. And at a certain point too, it's hard. You have to kind of not specialize, but the amount of hours start to pick up if you want to do it competitively. So I kind of had to choose between the sports, and gymnastics was the one that I really loved to do, and it wasn't freezing cold. So
That was the cold. That
yeah,
was that was the cold who pushed you to the right direction. That was a good way to
exactly.
put it.
Yeah.
Gymnastic. It's I don't know. I'm not a gymnast, so I never really try anything before when I was younger. But I always think like all those flipping and spinning you guys are doing, my like for a normal person is like, my God, like do they get dizzy?
Yes, we do get dizzy and we see stars sometimes. I know
Oh,
that's just a figure of speech, like seeing stars, but I remember maybe it was like 5 or 6 years ago. I really only actually started to see stars and understand. And I was like, wow, I can actually see stars. I think it's maybe because I was getting older in the sport. But that being said, yeah, we do get dizzy
all
and
right.
we get
That's
used to
another
it
one.
though. Yeah, we
They
train
do
for
see the
it.
stars. Good.
Yes, I
Like
do. Yeah.
you answer a big question I have my whole life is like, my God, like all those things, like do they get dizzy at all? Like,
Yeah, generally we train for it. So, when you're in really good practice, it doesn't really
okay.
make you that dizzy or you don't see as many stars. But if you've taken a rest or you're coming back from a vacation or an injury, then your body kind of has to get used to it, and your mind and your brain has to like remember where you are in space and time.
Listen to Caitlin. Caitlin's like, I cannot even do cartwheels.
I can teach you.
Uh oh. There we go, Caitlin. You got your coach there. But
Yeah, I got you.
it's see, I was like, you got the best to coach you, Caitlin. What else better than that? But anyway, let's talk about how you choose gymnastic over figure skating, and then all those training. Can you tell everybody how hard it is to go through all those training before you get to do your senior debut in Mississauga, and just how much training it involved during that time?
Yeah, so basically trained since I was young for like the past 10 to 15 years, 5 days a week, for 4 hours a day, and then slowly started to increase to doing like weight training as well twice a week, for like an hour to 2 hours. So training almost 6 days a week. And yeah, just lots of training that goes into it, lots of time and commitment. You have to be at the gym, you have to go and do your warm up, you have to practice the specific different events, and then you need to make sure you're conditioning your body to be strong to be able to handle doing gymnastics. Then going home, working on your recovery and whatnot, and leading up to going into the senior. It was a lot of hard work because you're jumping from lower levels. At that time I went from novice to junior and then a big jump to senior. That's usually the hardest jump. So going to compete against all those seniors, the older athletes, the ones who have the highest level of difficulty in Canada. So really just trying to make the most with that time. And I actually didn't train as many hours as maybe some other gymnasts did, so it's still a lot of time and commitment, for being only like 15 years old. But we had our sight sets on making it to the 2012 Olympics. So it was something that I really wanted to do, and I love to be in the gym. So it didn't really seem like we were there that much.
So before we go any further, I would like to have Ellie tell everybody what is the lifestyle is being a gymnast, because I know you're at Canada Game Center almost every day, and is it how different it is compared to an everyday job for what you do?
Yeah, I would say being a high level athlete, like it's a professional job for me. It's my like everyday job. It really encompasses just more than like the hours that you spend at the gym. So, if you go to work from like 9 to 5, generally you can kind of leave that behind, go home, relax, and then, live your life outside. But for me, as a gymnast, it kind of takes over every part of your life, because it comes home to you where you have to do really good recovery. Nutrition plays a huge part, your sleep, the outdoor activities you do, resting. And then as well, you've got, yeah, your training. We go to the Canada Game Center, we train at the CSIA in the back. And then I do my gymnastics training. I go to physio. I have mental performance sessions, nutrition sessions, like so many things that people don't really realize that all kind of play a part into it. And so it really just encompasses your whole life in it. So you have to have a balance of being able to, do things that are outside of the sport and still kind of make you happy and, you enjoy doing, spending time with your friends and your family. But there are kind of a lot of things that we do sacrifice in a sense to do the high level of sport that we do, because it is mentally and physically so demanding. So it's important that we make sure we take care of our bodies.
Your teammate just put comments like she is a master at life balance.
Well, I'm still working on it, but I've had a lot of years of practice. So
But it's a lot of people doesn't realize like how how much we have to invest for what we do every day, and there's certain type of jobs that you can just, like you said, just I'm home, I don't bring nothing home, but
yeah.
with you guys do, and that's why people need to appreciate what you guys contribute for the country, because you really invest your life representing the country and being out there, and that's what you need to do every day. A lot of people really don't realize that.
Yeah, we love it, but yeah, people don't really realize everything that's behind the scenes and what it really takes.
And oh, another comment. Little Sarah Bird, our season one opener. Sarah's like, "Whoa, you must be so disciplined."
Very, very disciplined. It's lots of practice.
And we'll get to that. I'm a chef, so I was like, me and Ellie's gonna talk about how she eat. But
Yes.
B, we're gonna talk about the first Olympic, 2012 at London. How will you feel beforehand when you're in the when you're part of the Olympic team, and then of course you help the Canadian team qualify for the first team final since 1984. How does that feel?
Yeah, it was actually crazy. Like the year before the Olympics in 2011, I had two really big injuries and I didn't compete for most of the year. And then so going into 2012, into the Olympic year, and where I kind of made my senior debut, it was really stressful. It's a stressful year going into an Olympic year. And I didn't really know what to expect because I hadn't competed the whole year before. And I was just this little girl from Nova Scotia moving into senior, and every competition I competed at, I gained a little bit more confidence and a little bit more. At the end of the day, I was just going out there to try my very best and hopefully make that Olympic team. And I ended up getting the fifth spot, and making the London team and going to the Olympics. And I just remember like being so excited to be able to represent Canada at the highest level. I had only really represented Canada a few times at some lower level World Cup competitions in junior and that year in senior. and only competed with the team maybe once or twice. So I was definitely the least experienced on the team. But I think going into it and being a little bit naive in a sense and not really knowing actually helped me to be able to perform really well, because my nerves were obviously there. I always get nervous. But I just remember going out and having such a great team surrounding me, and we knew what our goals were. And we were at the highest level of competition, the Olympic Games. And so we just wanted to really enjoy it. And we competed in the qualifications and we made the team final and we qualified in eighth. So I remember going to compete, and our team was basically like, we qualified in eighth. All we can do is either stay eighth or go up. And we ended up placing fifth, which was like a historic record for Canada. So we had qualified a team for the Olympics, which we hadn't done for years. We made the team final since, the date you just mentioned. And then we also came fifth, which was the highest placement for Canada. So it was an incredible experience. Yeah.
To evaluate how tough Ellie Black is, 2011, she had a broken toe and a dislocated elbow.
Yeah.
She recovered and she literally bring the Canadian team qualified and then end up fifth. But I was looking at the record. I'm a number guy, right? It's like, wow, like she really took it upon herself and did it for us. That was great. That was
Yeah.
just
I
great.
just wanted to help the team as best I possibly could. And yeah, and then it inspired me to want to stay and still compete for Canada and see what else we could achieve for Canadian gymnastics, because I felt like I kind of just reached the Olympics so quickly that I wanted to experience all those other competitions that kind of came after it that I hadn't gotten a chance to experience. So it definitely made me want to stay in Canada and continue to compete and see what was possible.
This is what's special to me about your story. There's so many Cinderella story. Like I'm a sport fan, and they will be like get really popular really quick. A lot of athletes, right? And then turn around. It's kind of like they just fall off the map. But our Ellie Black is still going strong, people.
Still going
She is
strong. Thank
still
you.
going strong. Like she is still at the highest level on the world biggest stage, and she is still up there and refuse to actually fall off the map after 3 Olympics. That is unbelievable because for professional athletes, my God, that is like how much you guys go through every day to keep up for that much long of a career. It's incredible. Is it incredible? And
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
sorry,
it's been
Ellie, go ahead.
incredible. No, it's been incredible. It's definitely a balance, but it's been incredible.
And let's talk about the crazy gold medal year, 2015, where you dominate in our country at Toronto.
Yeah, it was my first Pan Am Games, and like I just said a minute ago, yeah, I wanted to compete in all those competitions that I had never competed at. So it was my first Pan Am Games. They were in Toronto, so in our home country. And it's not every day that athletes actually get to compete at a big games in your home country. It's
Yep.
it was just
She'll be back. There you go.
super. Am I back?
Yes. Just for a second.
And I was just super excited to compete in Toronto in front of my family, in front of my friends, and just to be able to have that opportunity. And I remember going into the competition, I actually had like a little bit of an ankle injury, so I wasn't actually sure how the competition was going to go. But I have a lot of experience with competing, and I knew I just had to go out there and be with my team and try my best. And it ended up being super incredible. Yeah, 3 gold medals, gold in the all around, which I think was a first for a Canadian for a really, really long time. A Canadian hasn't won the all around at the Pan American Games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was also since like the 80s. And so that was historic. And then I ended up winning a gold on the balance beam and the floor, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, it was all around balance beam, the floor, and you got a bronze in vault too.
Bronze on vault. And then, yeah, 5 medals. Oh, team we
And
won
the
too
team
as
won, yeah.
well.
You got a
Yeah.
silver one in
So,
team.
yeah. So it was 5 medals. I think I was the most decorated athlete or Canadian athlete at those games. And I was able to do it, yeah, in Canada and in front of all my friends and family. And that's something that I'll like never forget. It was one of the best memories.
And remember, guys, 2015 was only once. At 2019 on a Pan Am game, she dominate again with 2 gold, 2 silver, and 1 bronze. 5 more medals, 2019. Like,
Yeah. And then going back to 2019 and competing again, it's really hard to come back and have just as good of a performance and as well go back and win the all around again and reclaim that title. That was really, really exciting, really tough, but it was super incredible. And yeah, just very grateful for those experiences.
but you know what? It's the longevity that you have in your career that is absolutely unseen. As physical as it is being a gymnast, and you guys are pretty much torturing yourself, like all those jumping and everything. Like like when you guys jumping like that, a lot of people doesn't realize how much pressure and how much things you guys do to your joints, and that's not easy. Like I'm feeling it right now because I just do a tasting menu for last week for crying out loud, and with you guys like jumping on the mats like crazy and on top, although spinning around, and I don't know, man. It just amazing how you last this long and you are still going strong.
Yeah, I
Kudos to
have
you, Ellie.
a great team around me, a great team allowing me to do that. Physios keeping me in one piece, but also, yeah, just figuring out, I think, how to manage the training and not overdo it, not overload yourself because it can be a lot. And then to have that longevity in the sport, you have to find that balance. We were kind of talking about that earlier, like the work life balance. It's definitely important.
It's just amazing like how you condition yourself and everything, but of course it getting to the most recent years, that 3 years of difficulty that we have during COVID, and how did it adapt during that time and control like your training sections, all that.
Yeah, COVID was probably one of the hardest obstacles I've ever had to go through. I've had a lot of injuries, I've had mental blocks, but COVID was something no one knew, no one had been through, no one knew what to expect. And I
Most
think just
definitely.
that unknown and that uncertainty was really tough. Also, we were forced to, all stay home and isolate and not go to work, not go to the gym, not be able to go about our normal lives while still trying to train for the Olympics. So it was really tough. I remember training from home, doing conditioning sessions at home. We had a stationary bike. I broke a couple things in my parents' house because I was trying to train and do handstands. And so then when the weather got nice, I was able to go outside and then start to do my training out there, but also trying to be safe because,
Yeah.
this isn't something that you normally do at home, or it's not something normally that you do outside with no mats. So it was generally just staying physically conditioned and kind of taking ourselves through mental routines
Hmm.
to practice, visualizing what we would be doing. But mentally and physically, it was really tough. And even in and out of training for the Olympics, we went through lots of lockdowns. So we would
Yeah.
be in the gym training, and then we'd be told, you can't go back to the gym, and we don't know for how long. So, I remember the year of 2021, we were still kind of in the middle of COVID, and we just got told we couldn't go back into training, and I didn't know how long it was going to last, whether it was going to be a week or a month or 2 months. And you're training for the Olympics coming up, like super stressful. So just finding ways to kind of manage, stay as physically, active and fit as you could under all those regulations and the precautions. But yeah, it was definitely really, really tough.
Getting a comment from Kayla Shorts. She was with you last week, and Kayla said, "Wow, the commitment alone is so impressive."
Yeah, it felt like 2 years of in and out every day, trying to juggle the uncertainties, whether the Olympics were going ahead or whether they weren't. And we basically had to train like the Olympics were going ahead no matter what. And so I guess having a bit of hope that they would go ahead definitely fueled us, but it was definitely one of the biggest obstacles. And I don't think I really realized how much of a mental toll that took on me, because also we didn't really know about COVID. So if I got COVID, I potentially couldn't go to the Olympics. They were really strict with testing. They were really strict with um, not bringing COVID into the country for the Olympic Games. So I remember being very, very stressed out. I couldn't see my friends. I couldn't see my family. I did like a month of isolation pretty much leading up to leading for the Olympic
Yeah.
Games because I didn't want to get COVID and I didn't want to miss the games. So a lot of sacrifices. Didn't get to go to the grocery store very often. I had to do the pickup or get someone to pick up for me, but just all those little things that you don't really think about. And after the fact, I really realized how much of a toll that took and how much hard work it was to work through that all.
Well, I mean, it's it's difficult for everybody during that time, especially for you guys need to train like in a constant basis to conditions and to be at a high level at all time. It's just like, I mean, hey, you might say you broke a few things at your parents' house. I don't think your parents mind. They probably joke about it, right? Like, oh, Ellie, like soon as during that time,
Yeah,
Ellie broke this, Ellie broke this, right?
it was part of it at the time. What could you do?
Just a moment there. I just broke it for the Olympic.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Oh yeah, totally, totally. So let's start about food. I'm sure a lot of people come in kind of want to know, hey, how Ellie eats. So you need to be in tip top shape all the time. And I think I'm pretty proud. I actually convinced her ate my food a few times now.
It's been
And
so good.
well, we talk about that later. Um, and how about like when you go out, like you travel all over the world, right? Like all those games and all those different countries. How do you eat when you go out? Like, my God, like you just visit a country that, oh my God, I want to try the stuff there. But you kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I should eat that. Oh, I would really
Yes.
hate that.
Yeah. So when we travel, before the competition, we try and stick to things that we're used to, where we know our body responds well to, because we're just trying to keep it as normal as possible, like it is
Mm,
at home. So if we're done the competition, then we get to try a little bit more and experience the different foods. So I've been super lucky to be able to travel. Usually we get like one day at the end, maybe, to go out and try some
okay.
stuff. So we don't actually get to do too much, but I have definitely had some training camps. I've had some competitions around the world, and I've gotten to try a lot of different food. And generally, I'm not a picky eater. Like I love to try different things, unless
Okay.
it's like really, really out there.
Mm,
But the Japanese cuisine has always been one of my favorites. I love the different flavors and the different dishes, and it's also very different to here. I find, here you can go get sushi but they have so much more than that. And
No, it's
here
not
it's
even
hard
the
to
same
find the
thing.
traditional. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the same, right? So when you're actually able to travel to those countries, you get to try those traditional foods, made by those people in that culture.
Yeah.
And it's just phenomenal.
It's same thing with Chinese food here. It's it's so different, and a lot of people
For
don't
sure.
realize how different flavor profile that is actually is, right? So when you
Yeah, like
travel around, do you get like, okay, Ellie, like today, after this competitions, you have 2 days. Can you guys go out and drink and eat freely, or you still kind of like, I don't know, that kind of deal?
I think if you still have some big competitions coming up after, I think it's all about balance, right?
Okay.
So after you're done the competition, of course you want to just kind of go have something like a meal that's more flexible, or go have a drink, or celebrate with your, teammates or your family,
Mm,
whatnot. But if you've got some big competitions still coming up, you're kind of still in season, you're not gonna go crazy, but I think it's really important to be able to kind of have a balance, and to know that, like, even throughout the season, it's important to be able to, just eat some regular food, right? And everything in moderation is what I always say. But once we're done season, I think it's important to actually like let yourself kind of go back to just like a regular eating, habit. But in general, I feel like I eat very balanced throughout the year, and then it's just about certain.
oh, she's back. Oh, she's back. Oh, we lost you for a second there,
Oh,
Ellie.
I'm back. What did you
Okay.
miss?
No, like you were just talking about the balance of the food and everything. So, but who everyone who's watching, there is gonna be a backup video stream, which is gonna be on Ellie's computer. I'll be getting it from her later, and we can fix the video and make a nice, perfect video for you guys on the channel after.
Perfect.
So anyway, you were talking about flexibility, like how you eat. You just need to be moderated, and that's where you're at when the connection not
Yeah.
cooperating.
Yeah. I think it's just all about balance. I think it's about everything in moderation in general, throughout the year. But, I think it's important after you're done competitions, or, just while you're in off season, to be able actually to just relax and eat like a regular human being, right? Like we're still
Hmm.
regular human beings. We need
Yeah,
to fuel
Kayla,
our
say you're
bodies.
crushing it.
Yeah. But during the season, I think it's more the fact that we just want to make sure we're fueling our bodies with food that's going to be allowing us to train optimally and compete optimally, right? And foods
Okay.
that are going to allow our body to recover.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, But anyway, the next questions I have for you, I'm gonna put you on the spot now.
Okay.
Your favorite cuisine? Wow, you already answered it. While you're traveling the world representing Canada, you just talk about Japanese food. Can
Love
we get a
Japanese
second
food.
best?
Second best. Okay. I'm I haven't competed in this country, but I've traveled there. My family's from South Africa, but I love
Okay.
South African food. Um, I think it's,
Flavorful.
yeah, oh my gosh, the flavors,
Yeah.
and it's also just very different than what we find here. So I love trying things that are very different. Like I was in Iceland one time and I tried whale. You don't try that very often here. So just trying different things and stuff that's like to that culture and to that country, that's like tradition. And I think it's like one of the best things you can do while you're traveling is to actually try that traditional food and open your mind towards like different things, because it's just so good.
Another person on your table. Listen to that, Candace. She said,
Candace.
yes, Japanese food. So anyway, I'm gonna give you something that you probably didn't know I was gonna ask you.
Oh, okay.
You were talking about balance and how you're gonna control what you eat, right?
Yeah.
Remember that Chinese New Year dinner that you came in to eat? Was I
Yes.
killing you the amount that I was feeding you?
What was it? Like it was like 15 courses.
12.
12, okay. It felt like 15. It was incredible though.
We had some pretty amazing dishes. I was like halfway through, I was looking over and said, Ellie, are you still okay? I might overfeed you.
I had to
Like,
pace myself.
so you learn, right?
Yes, but it was downtime, you know? It's important to be able to have those evenings where you're just, there enjoying with great company, great food, trying new things. And every dish was so good. I just like couldn't not try it.
Well, I mean, that was, trust me, I don't even remember what I made. But
I remember the lobster tower. That was phenomenal.
yep, that was. I do lots of difference. A lot of people don't see like what I do on lobster so often, right? And gotta be a lot more coming. A
Oh,
lot
for
more
sure.
coming.
And then my favorite dessert,
Okay.
the little
Meal steak, deep fried
yes.
meal steak. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Candace already say let's do Chinese New Year dinner
Yeah,
again.
she's ready. I'm
Yeah.
also ready.
All right. Like you guys always have your spot. And well, a lot of people have been asking about that already and saying, hey, you know what? When are you gonna doing it? When are you gonna do that? I have not even get to that because after the tasting menu you were at, I have a lot of thoughts, Ellie. I really want to offer a tasting menu on my menu now. So
I
people
would
can
support
call
that.
me and say, hey, you know what, chef? I want to come in next week. I'll give you time for 6 of us. I want to have a tasting menu experience. That's pretty much
I still
what
need
I
to
want.
come. Yeah, I still need to come for the Peking duck.
Just tell me when. I'll make it happen.
But
Well,
I
you have
think
the
people
Peking duck
would.
in different forms already.
Yes, I have, and it's phenomenal. So I want to come for the full Peking duck.
Yeah, well, just name the time and I'll make it happen. That's,
But I
you
think
know,
I think the tasting menu would be such a phenomenal thing for everyone because, it's something so different. And then they can come try actually what the things you're so passionate about making
thank you.
and you
Thank you.
work so hard.
It's, I think I get on the point is like, I do the traditional Chinese food every day, right? It's time to show people I'm not like world class athlete like Ellie Black, but what I'm capable of in my tiny little restaurant. What I'm offering right now is really different for what everybody else doing. Just want to offer people something different, but
For sure.
not talk about my restaurant now. Jeez. Okay.
I love your restaurant though. I'll talk about it anytime.
So what is your go-to on your cheat day? That is actually a question from Kayla Short during the dinner the other night.
I know that is a question that I didn't answer then. I guess I love pizza as a cheat, because I don't have it very often. Um, but I think everything, yeah, everything in moderation. I also love chocolate. So chocolate is definitely up there. And just a really good like pizza or like pasta, something that you can't quite make at home, like just like a nice oven roasted pizza.
Here's the deal. Okay, Michelle, my favorite photographer around here. Michelle said the best Peking duck. You have to try it. I'll meet you there. So I saw that. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal.
Okay, I'm here
Um,
for a deal.
we will have you, Michelle, and Candace come in for the whole Peking duck, and
Yes.
I will make you a Peking duck pizza.
Ooh, that would be phenomenal.
How's that sound?
I'm here. I'm ready.
All right.
Actually, I'll be at the restaurant right now. I'll go now.
I'll be I'll be planning on that. I'll let you know, and we'll set a time. And yes, I'll make you a Peking duck pizza
That's
on your
something I've
cheat day.
never had, and it would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I kind of thought of that a few times already.
There
But
we go. It's meant to be.
yep, let's make our Ellie Black a little Peking duck pizza. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say my probably favorite cheap meal is coming for the new Chinese New Year dinner, 12 courses. That's my favorite.
Well, that probably like that cheat meal lasts you 2 months though.
Yeah, exactly. But it's totally worth it.
And let's talk about eating with Ellie. I can I cannot tell you guys. She made that video, the cooking video that day. When I saw it, I have a smile on my face. I said, "Little Ellie really know what she's doing," and I would eat that totally.
Yeah. It was super good. It was super simple and super good. But yeah, I started eating with Ellie a few years ago. And it's just, my like Instagram hashtag, and I'll post videos or recipes that I've gotten like inspiration about. And I love to cook, I love to bake. And I think one of the biggest things for me is being an athlete. A lot of the time, yeah, we do have to eat healthy or we do have to kind of have a balance. But that being said, you can make so many incredible foods that are still kind of healthy and tasty. So I think that's kind of what inspired me with the eating with Ellie, is to be like, okay, yeah, you can still eat these foods, but you can do them in a fun way, you can do them in a healthy way, or just something that's more like, it's just different, something that's exciting. And I like to share the things that I try in the kitchen with others so they can try them. And yeah, my parents always grew up cooking, and then I started to cook with them, and it's something that I love to do. I'm very passionate about. So
Well, that's good thing because I mean, with the inflation, everything going on with the economy, and with you encourage people cooking at home, and it's just something with a good cause, right? Like I mean, people need to learn that and maybe help them financially a little bit, or just come to eat in my restaurant, okay? But anyway, and but no, that's such a good things to do, and of course, I did not expect that you made a cooking video that good. I was like, my God, everything looks perfect on that short little video. I was like, I actually told Ellie myself, I was like, hey, I saw that video. Sounds like you're challenging me. It was so like so happy to see people do that. I mean, even for somebody like myself, it's just like, wow, Ellie can cook, great.
yeah, and I think, yeah, cooking, some people are intimidated by it. And yes, it can be very complicated, and it can be, but it can also be like fun and creative, and just being in the kitchen, you can be there, it can be with your family, it can just be like a something exciting, creative, de-stressor almost. Like for me, it's kind of zen. I love to be in the kitchen. I like to cook because it just takes my mind off of other things, and I can be creative and try new things. So I think it's pretty cool. But I'll have to learn some tips from you.
I don't know. Um, so, a question just coming through my head. What Ellie Black cannot do?
Oh, there's probably
I
so many
like it's
things.
like, what can she? What she cannot do? I mean, she's even cooking now. I mean, how disciplined she is. So she's mentally strong, physically strong. My God, like I don't know. It
Um,
sounds like you're a perfect human being.
I'm definitely not perfect. Everyone's got their things. I try hard to just be, a nice, good, solid human being. And I think that's all I try my best to do. But I definitely can't do everything. There's probably lots of stuff that I can't do. Like, any sport that involves like a bat or a ball, or like my coordination is not actually that good, and I actually trip a lot of the time. I think all my mental power goes towards training in the gym. So when I'm walking outside, there's no mental power left to keep me balanced.
Let's talk stats. How
Okay.
many world class top athletes have a career to last three Olympic? I'm a big
Mm,
basketball fan, right?
yeah.
You're talking about some pretty big names that did
Mhm.
three. You're talking about LeBron James,
Mhm.
Carmelo Anthony.
Mhm.
Those are names that you are with, and you are still going.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know like why anyone not put you up there with them because free Olympics and you are still at like the top tier, the very best. You are still a world elite athlete after free Olympics. I mean, look at LeBron now. Sorry, but LeBron can barely do anything last 2 or 3 years. I am a big Carmelo Anthony fan, and the free Olympic he went in pretty much just carry it through. It is hard. It's
Mhm.
hard at you guys' level, mentally, physically, how disciplined you guys are. It is incredible. Like people need to recognize how special you have, how special you are at the level of what you do. And that's something everybody needs to understand.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work, and yeah, it's not every day that you see athletes stay for those many years, those many quads, Olympic quads. And yeah, you're starting to see a little bit more of it now because athletes are understanding, I think, how to train smarter and take care of themselves. But even when you do that, it's so much hard work, so much dedication and discipline that goes into it. And yeah, physically and mentally very difficult. So it's a lot of hard work, but working on the fourth, and that's the goal, is next summer. So
There
trying
you go.
everything to get there.
Working on the fourth. Guys, you
Yeah.
guys need to message her and give her support every single day now. Would love to see our very own Ellie Black going to the fourth Olympic. It
Yeah.
will make me so happy to see you there. Just not because you're Ellie Black. It's also because how good a person you are.
Thank you.
Since I really get to know you, I mean, I know a lot of big name like cross path with a big chef or whatever. You are the last person with how amazing your statue is, but zero, literally zero arrogant. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. Like what you accomplish, and I expect. It was so funny. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story this morning. I was dropping off my daughter this morning at the Canada Game Center. On the way there, I was telling my daughter, say, hey, if you bump into Ellie, make sure you go up and say hi and, be a polite person. And I swear it's not even 30 seconds after I said that. My wife looked over. Oh, it's Ellie there. I The picture I see Ellie Black walking across the parking lot of Canada Game Center. You know what's going through my head? Why she can walk through that parking lot freely like that? I expect like people go up to her and say, "Whoa, Ellie!" Like, but my God, like she just walked right across the parking lot, and I pull down the window and say, "Ellie, hey." She's like, she say hi and being the sweetheart she is, and then she just keep walking. And I was like, my God, I expect people stopping her. How can she walk across the parking lot freely like that when
Just
there's
another
probably
day
like
going to the
30
gym.
people, like literally 20 feet away from you? I was like, my God, like that's quite a picture I saw, right? It was unexpected. It was totally unexpected to see you just come across like that.
Well, it was lovely. I got to run into you guys this morning, and it's kind of cool. We get to train, where the kids go for camps and everyone goes to train, and yeah, we're just kind of like a part of the community, and I think that's
Good.
probably one of the coolest parts is just like being a part of that community.
I mean, it's been really humble that you would find time and show up at my little restaurant and come into my little dinner. Um, so everyone's watching. Here's a treat for you now. I'm not gonna post it on social media. Anyone who is watching right now, I did not even ask Ellie this. At my restaurant, the whole August, if you want to order online or eat in, you use the code Eating with Ellie, you get a 5% discount
Oh,
on
let's
anything.
go. Oh, guys.
All right, I was thinking about that. I was gonna ask Ellie before we start, but yes, I forget again. But I'm just gonna announce it. So
I'm here for it.
if you are going to be order online, I'm gonna do it tomorrow and put it in the system, or eat in. You put in the code Eating with Ellie. You get a 5% discount on your bill the whole month of August. Just to thank you everybody to support, and we want to support Ellie and spread that code everywhere, and hopefully everybody will be happy.
I'm happy. I'm going to put in an order. Is it August already?
All right. So thank you, Ellie, for doing this with me. Really do. Um, Anything else you'd like to share with the audience, or what's the plan? I know you talk about this, about next Olympic, but any big plans happening this year? Any big ideas?
Yeah, well, we've got world championships coming up. So that's like the thing I'm training for right now.
Hmm.
World championships, and then next year we'll kind of be getting into training for the Olympics. So it's just going to be busy, but I'm really trying to just kind of take advantage of you know, like I said, this year I worked a lot to be able to get to your restaurant, do stuff in the community. Next year is going to be busy, but those events really fill up my heart and it
Hmm.
makes me really happy. So they're really important for me to fit in. So I think that's what I'm going to try and continue to do. As I go into next year, making sure that I'm having time to, be.
Oops.
So
She'll be back. Okay.
yeah, just super excited about that.
That's good. That's good. I mean, hey, it's always exciting every day to follow your Instagram, follow our media, and say, hey, you know what? This is what she's doing today. This is what she's doing tomorrow. It's all her training. You guys need to understand, to follow her, to appreciate what she does every day. What she's doing for this country. After three Olympics, she is still going strong. As let's go for the fourth, and let
Yes,
everybody cheer for our Ellie Black, and let's see her and hope to see some more gold medal at the Olympic.
perfect. Yeah, I'll take you guys with me on my journey if you follow me on the social media on Instagram, and you can see.
So anyway, to wrap this up, Ellie, I'm gonna spend a little time to talk about the next season. And
Yes.
thanks again. Don't log off yet. We're gonna chat a little bit after we done. And thank you, Ellie Black. And we'll see you next time. Thank you,
Thank you,
Ellie.
chef.
What exciting and fulfilling feelings of this episode. And that wrap up our season one of my little podcast. And next season is gonna be even more incredible. I mean, we have early plea. It's gonna be opening on September 11th. We have Anna from CTV. We have the icon Chevrolet himself. We get Rebecca. We get the DIY mom. So we have Gina Luckett. Gina is going to be talking about our harvest for Nova Scotia. So no, it's tune in, please, and follow the channels. And I am still adding the list for season 2. But thanks for everything. Thanks, Ellie Black, again, to do this little podcast with me. And have a good night, everybody. Bye bye.